It has been ridiculously hot and moist here, and my entire fucking complex has a gnat infestation.
Bad here too.
And I usually run my fan because I don't really like to run the AC, but it's been blowing hot air, so I have to have the AC on, which sucks balls because I don't like to run the AC. It always makes me like congested.
Yeah.
It's awful. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Don't run your AC if you don't have to. I also have like a fan in my bedroom, like a little like tiny little desk fan. It's nice. Um, but damn, this has just been. How is everyone handling this damned old heat wave? I can't take it any longer.
Really nice here this morning. But, a little spicy
Bestie, I can't hear you that well.
Can you hear me now?
Is your mic like away from you? Kind.
Is it
like
this
I can
one?
hear something like.
All right.
Yeah, it's just really far away.
I wasn't sure which mic was for Skype.
Where is the cell phone?
Did you send me the notes?
Yeah, it's on
All
Discord.
right.
Okay. I have kind of told everyone. So these last 2 weeks, Thursday streams have been more or less an accident because you had something going on one week, and I was like, valid. Last week, give me 1 second. Last week I had to work really late, and it just wasn't going to happen on a Wednesday. I don't normally work Wednesdays, but here I was working a Wednesday, and for what? And then yesterday, which is why today is a Thursday stream, is because someone forgot to go to the comic shop because he forgot it was a Wednesday.
Yeah. It was it's been a long week.
It's been a gross week too. But yeah, we clown on you a little bit, Clyde,
It's all
but
good.
it happens. It happens. Life gets the best of us. Alrighty. I don't know what Homeboy's doing, but I'm just vibing.
Are we ready?
I think I'm
All right,
ready.
I'm ready.
God, are
I'm
you ready?
ready-ish.
Alrighty, well, ready-ish. Well, I'm going to introduce myself, and you can follow my lead,
All right.
okay? Alrighty. So, hi, my name is Tyler. I'm a cosplayer, somewhat of a prop maker, and I read comics for, I guess, a living? I don't know. I don't know what sleep is, and I am drinking Caldi's coffee tonight, since that seems to be my thing on these streams, is I drink coffee and don't know when to shut up.
Fair enough. I am John. I make props. I read a bunch of comics, and it's spicy in here tonight with all the printers going.
Ah, yes. If you're playing bingo with everyone else, there's your free space. They're still playing bingo.
That's awesome.
I love that. I love how people can take our nonsense and make it into something more fun than us. I think we're pretty fun, though.
I agree.
Okay. So I think within our DMs, you know exactly which series I'm the most excited to talk about tonight. But I would rather get the other one out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just throw this out here tonight. So when you come on to our streams, everyone expects a spoiler warning because we are talking current and ongoing series. That's a given. Tonight, though, we are talking a series that we just finished getting caught up on, so lots of spoilers there. Furthermore, I'm going to give a trigger warning because one of the comics we're talking about does include try not to go into it too much, but mentions of grotesque violence.
So much violence.
There is your spoiler warning and your trigger warning.
It's a ridiculous amount of violence.
I don't like it. I like it, but I don't like it.
I'm not mad at it.
All right, you want to introduce us to our first series, my
All right.
amazing
So
friend?
the first one we're doing is Vinyl. I have to pull the note back up. Vinyl is from Image Comics and 12 Gauge Comics. Doug Wagner is the writer. Daniel Hillard is the artist. So this follows a serial killer and FBI agent who are
2 FBI agents.
2 FBI agents. One was kidnapped. One the serial killer claims is his best friend.
It's weird.
This issue, evidently, the serial killer has now formed a gang of serial killers who are going to kill a cult
The serial killer club.
of also possible serial killers
And
or zombies. I'm not really sure.
I'm just gonna put out here that the cult gives off P-word vibes, and if you know what I'm referring to, you know what I'm referring to.
The cult is fucking wild. The whole thing's wild.
It's
It is bloody.
it's ridiculously bloody. I think so. Like I said last time we talked Vinyl, my biggest worry was it was going to be more blood and gore than actual story. And majority of this issue, while we did have enough story to go off of, there was just like a good chunk of it was just pages of blood and gore and dismemberment, and for what?
I think the reason for what they did that for was to really highlight how dangerous these serial killers are, because they went into a compound and killed a pile of trained mercenaries who were protecting the cult, but then the cult killed the trained mercenaries too, which is the mercenaries they were like throwaway characters.
Honestly,
But they were just there for cannon fodder.
Honestly, I think something really nice within this issue is like the first issue where like, why is a serial killer Walter is his name, why is he playing dumb when he obviously knows he's being followed and he's literally on the cusp of getting arrested? Dare I say psychosis is in place, but there was a lot of character development with him, a lot of his conversations with Vic, and the conversations with the twins. There's 2 twins that he hired to go into the cult's compound and kill them. But he talked a lot about his past with his grandma and how he described what is it? I would say folklore, really. Folklore and superstitions of Haint, and I believe that's from Southern origins. I did not look it up. I didn't have time. But he said that Haints are evil spirits trapped in soulless bodies. They refuse to move on from this world. And then that goes into play with what happens later in the issue. But it was really nice to see more of his backstory get explored upon within all the blood and gore.
Yeah. And he seemed, it's going to sound odd to say, he seemed more sane this issue. Like, he was very cognizant, where the last issue he felt disconnected from his surroundings. He was very much, I know what I'm doing, I know what's going on here.
And dare I say he was focused, because, like, so, what's his face? I forgot to keep my notes from the last time we did this, and I didn't go back to check the other FBI agent's name. Sorry. But because his bestie, dare I say, is kidnapped by a cult who... what was it? He tells the twins that when he has the mask on, his name is Snap.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And like that, I feel like that calm, collected nature that he had in this issue was just him with the mask on without the mask off. With the mask off, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%. I know exactly what you're saying.
I don't have the words to describe it that well, but I'm describing it.
You made it.
And then, so we got a lot of Walter's backstory this time, and then we also got some like fucked up cult lore with the mother. And like Madeline said that like to what was it? What's his face? Don't worry, she hasn't eaten a human in years, at least not to my knowledge. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. This is honestly, if you could just put like a bunch of random colors together and call it a light show, like it has no rhyme or reason, but it makes sense. Like it all comes together to one cohesive unit.
Yeah.
That's very bloody.
Yeah, it's confusing, but it's also it's confusing and makes sense. It's
like they obviously know what they're doing.
It's a straightforward story of we're going to save this guy, but we're not going to go in this straight line to save this guy. We're going to zigzag the whole way there and make it as complicated as possible to save this man from a person who possibly eats humans, or we don't even know if they're a person. Maybe they have a fucking pet lion in this cult.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I honestly don't know. I think the one thing that honestly, because again, majority of this issue is just panels of blood and gore and dismemberment, that there's not much story to talk on. Like, they're giving you bits of story, and I really appreciate that. I also went and checked. Last time we said they were only doing like 4 issues, right?
I think so.
I checked on League of Comic Geeks, and it seems they've been extended to 5 or 6. Don't quote me on that.
That
but
makes
like,
sense.
But I love how like we get just enough story to keep us there, and they're like, "Hey, yo, torture porn."
Yep.
Which the ending was when like that thing, because Vic is very much on the within the belief that Walter is fucking psychotic. He's a killer. Look, he was literally making her watch the twins kill other people, and so she's kind of like on that like, I don't need you, you're fucking insane. And then that mask thing from the cult shows. It's so fucking weird.
Dude. It's strange, and then they introduce a character right at the end that you don't see,
which is referred to as a Haint.
No. The one that kills the Haint.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's what that
there was somebody that came in and killed the Haint. It was Rennie.
Yeah, no, you're right. Mind you, I read it at like 2 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. Like, I had taken a nap, and I woke up, and I was working on assignments, and then I was like, I want to read so I can be caught up for Wednesday, and then guess whose clown shit happened on Wednesday?
That'd be me.
So, and so I didn't really understand that part because I thought it had been Vic, but no, you're right. Which, that would make no sense for it to be Vic. So this is why you don't do shit like this when you're half asleep.
Facts.
See, I don't know what a sleeping schedule is.
That's fine. Who needs that?
That's why you get DMs from me at like 3 a.m. that make no sense.
So I wake up
But
at least once in the middle of the night and check all my messages, and then I forget about them the next morning because I wake up to check my email for my printers because the company's out of China and they only email me in the middle of the night. So I can send an email back and get an answer by the time I actually wake up. My email might not make sense, but I send that email.
You know, that's valid. I do that all the like. I'm working on a project with someone right now, and I wake up like several times a night, but it's mostly because I can't sleep well.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day, he messaged me like a bunch of his ideas for this project we're working on. I'm like, that's cool, man. I'll talk to you when I'm awake. And that was at like 5:46 a.m.
Oh, I hear you. I've done it.
But no, the last panel of the series, so again, 2 a.m., me half asleep reading and taking notes, which is why my notes for Vinyl are way wackier than my notes for the other series. I I like was what was it? Revolted, to put it politely. Like I looked at it, I read over it, gagged, looked away, looked back at it, gagged again.
Did you really? Bro,
Like I did it 3 times where my brain was like, close the page.
come on, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, after reading that entire issue, my brain was just like, that's enough blood. Mm-mm. Especially with like the little tendril. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
The little what?
The tendrils that came out of the neck.
Those were knives that went into the neck.
Yeah, but then when they pulled out of the
yeah,
neck. Yeah.
Whatever.
But anyway, that's vinyl number 2, everyone. A bloody, gory, dismemberment fun time if that's what you're into, with a cult that gives off P-word vibes and a serial killer who makes no sense, but hey, we're here.
Yeah, it's there's not much else to say. This one was a straight up murder show.
You think Slade Wilson's bad? Well, damn.
This was they murdered a lot of people. They
This was
killed
like-
so many people.
This was like Deadpool.
Yeah, they killed.
Deadpool if you just like...
It's like the old Punisher comics. And I love it. I love it. You ready to move on to crossover?
Yeah, issue 3 of Vinyl will be out on August 25th. It's through Image Comics and 12 Gauge Comics. It seems that every comic shop is selling out of these really quick, so if this is something that interests you, which I would honestly be surprised at this point who isn't interested, just like see what it's about, make sure you have a subscription pull box and with your local comic shop, and or pre-order it through imagecomics.com or go to 12 Gauge Comics website.
Yeah, no, they're definitely moving these fast. I think they get a limited stock of them too.
That's what happens with indie comics. Even within the big 3, they only do... Because indie publishers can't risk to lose as much as the big 2 can. That's why it's a shit show trying to get, like, even the series I read. I'm like, god damn it. Which, honestly, I'm going to say this, as much as I like vinyl, I would rather have it as a trade than have the individual issues, because it's something I would, at this point, only read once, and then have as a trade to, like, torture someone else with.
I can see where you're coming from with that, but I really love the covers of these.
The covers are gorgeous, I'll give them that.
Absolutely amazing.
Okay. Alright, so crossover number 7. So this one was a bit of a fun ride. So normally the series is by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw is the artist, right? This time around, Chip Zdarsky was the writer, Phil Hester was the artist, and Andy Parks was the one that inked it. Completely different team, guest team. This one is also Image Comics. So,
This is.
first of all, let me
I'm gonna
just
preface
say.
this real quick. It's one of the best comics of the year.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like literally in our DMs, I kept telling Clyde when I was getting caught up. This is the best comic recommendation I've ever been given. Oh my god, it is so fucking meta. Like, I put it at the end of my notes. I should have put it at the beginning, but a huge thing that you'll see within the series is the writers allow their inner dialogue to come out whenever they're writing, and it's so fucking fun because in issue 5, Kate's inner thoughts kept coming out, and it was like, I'm in control over like the story, and with Ryan trying to kill, what is it, Ava?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was really funny, but also added a lot of depth to the story because, again, it's meta. It's breaking the 5th wall. It's breaking the 4th wall and the 5th wall at the same time.
Yeah.
I digress. To throw it back to issue 6 real quick, which, fun fact, I read issue 6 at work. Elle revealed to Ryan that she her family wasn't from Denver because she is one of the characters who crossed over, meaning that. Hold on, my brain just shit itself. Cly, help me out here.
With what? Like,
Crossover.
your brain.
That her family wasn't from Denver. They were from
Comic books.
the other world. Yes, there we go. So that's pretty much the only recap I'm gonna give for issue 6, because issue 7
Was brilliant.
it was
It was brilliant.
amazing. Again, fourth wall and fifth wall breaks the entire
The
time.
whole thing is just that. They have everybody. Literally everybody.
Literally writers that I read works from were brought up. But the issue is from the perspective of Dave Murray, who's actually Steve Murray, whose writing pseudonym is Chip Zdarsky. And for those that aren't aware, Chip Zdarsky, or Steve Murray, has wrote a fantastic Daredevil run. He's done, I know he's doing like a Batman and Red Hood team-up noir series. He has done stuff for Marvel, DC, and all over the board. Homeboy is like a fantastic writer, but like he lives in Canada and is a line cook.
And he was a construction worker before
But, like,
that.
And in issue 2, there was like a headline where it was Chip Zdarsky is one of the
Mhm.
missing comic book writers.
They brought it all the way back.
So we know where he's at now.
Dude, it's so good.
So I fucking can't. I would just put this out here. Cly and I have got like a good 15-year difference, so I have a different taste in memes. I'm gonna just put this out here right now. I have tortured this man with referring to this issue as self-cessed too many times in my notes. But I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong on this one. So to break it down, some notable things. Canada seems to be really fine with the transport of comics and having comic shops open and everything, which obviously, is a compare that to real life within U.S. and Canadian politics and everything. We can see where they were going with that one. And obviously he's staying away from comic shops because something is out here hunting comic creators. So stupid.
We still don't know who's doing it.
But he tells this guy named Matt that some people think it's, comic book characters coming after the people who worked on them.
Yeah. And he wrote Howard the Duck, and he thought, this comic book store dude thought Howard the Duck was coming after him.
The water off of Howard's back. God, so no, so obviously he has family in the U.S., but within, us seeing him living his life in Canada, he's also writing the comic, which is breaking the fifth wall. Because of all the inner monologue in these little purple boxes. But he brings up sex criminals a lot and thinks that a character from that series was haunting him.
That was hilarious.
It turns out to be himself.
His inner monologue, we went meta.
Because him and another writer went meta within an issue. So they wrote themselves into that, which honestly I want to check that series out now because this is just any reason to read this series, they have referenced every writer, as far as I can tell, within the indie and Big Two sphere. Along with that, they brought in the Paybacks, which I didn't realize was a real
Yeah, dude.
series until
Bro, get old.
I thought it was like a reference to like a made up characters to like get past copyright issues. No, it's from
Mhm.
Dark Horse. It's from
It has,
Dark
like, what,
Horse.
4 issues or something?
Because it got canceled. Who said it was canceled? God. I'm trying to see real quick. Yeah, it had 4 issues in 2016, so it's not that old. That was through Heavy Metal. It's been on Heavy Metal, Dark Horse in 2015.
Yep.
The 2015 series was wrote by Donny Cates.
Yeah.
So, if that says anything.
Can we talk about the God Country reference?
Yeah, I've never read God Country, so like that's introduced me to an entirely different, entirely
I
new
looked
series.
into it, and it looks absolutely amazing, and I ordered it at my comic shop because I don't know how to not spend money on comics. But the good thing is, my comic book guy needs a Daredevil helmet for a present, and I told him how much, and he goes, "Can you spot me?" I go, "Yeah, or better yet, I'll just give you your comics."
You know, I need that kind of relationship with my local comic shop so I can stop spending my own
Bro, they
money.
tried to get me. They tried to get me into the store like next door to them in the plaza that I can't afford, and I went to meet with their landlords. I was like, I love it. It's so nice, but I can't do it because it's so much money.
How much was it for rent?
$18.50?
1,000?
No, 100. $1,850 a month.
That's not bad, but that is still
That's-
pricey for small
It's
businesses.
pricey for a business that's barely been a business for 6 months.
Facts. Back on
Yeah.
topic. So, Chip's comic self has come into the real world to save him.
You froze.
Go. Okay, no, it did not. So right, like he's there to save him or whatever. I did not need the visual of Chip cuddling himself with his arrogant comic self being the big spoon. I did not need to see that today.
I did.
And that's why I put in my... Of course you did. But I put in my notes, why does this feel like self-cessed?
That was adorable. He was showing himself self-love and not in a creepy way. We see this in 2 drastically different ways right now. He was trying to take care of himself, and you're over here mocking him. What's
I'm
that
not
say about you,
mocking,
bro?
I'm gonna just put it out here. Wattpad and AO3 and Tumblr destroyed me when I was a preteen, okay? I have seen everything from regular to beyond Rule 34. Don't even...
I thought that was perfection.
It was cute. But at the same time, self-cessed is like...
It's not...
I felt like it.
That's not self-cessed. How is it self-cessed to hug yourself?
For legal reasons, I'm not gonna answer that question. But no, like it was a really nice scene of
Yeah.
Chip comforting himself.
was.
Like it.
Bro,
Shut up. It was. You're making me sound like a bad person, Clyde. The internet has just been the one to ruin me. But guess what? Nothing is safe on the internet. Guess what's gonna happen now?
what's gonna happen now?
There's Rule 34 for everything. It was just him comforting himself because Homeboy has been on the run for like a year, 2 years
Something
in
like
this comic
that.
timeline.
No, it had to be more than that. Or we don't know. They didn't really say when when the thing started killing comic book creators.
Yeah, no, like we just were aware that pretty much like 2 or 3 years have passed, right?
Yeah.
In the U.S., evangelicals are going on their bullshit, and that it was noted in issue 2 that Chip Zdarsky was a missing comic book writer,
Yep.
and then this issue, we don't know how long he's been in Canada.
We don't know how long.
Do we? I didn't see
We don't
that.
know how long that whoever's hunting comic book creators is hunting them. I didn't see where it said that. I read the whole trade at once up to issue 6. Evidently, I read 1 and 2 twice, but
Oopsie.
whatever. I was on a bus to New York City, so
I mean, hey, it benefits you.
yeah.
It benefits you in the long run because this is a series we're obviously talking about here and there.
There's a lot going on in it too. The character
Right?
development
I
is
mean,
so
like
good.
they just. Right. This is like one of the series where it's just like you think it can't get any better and it gets better. Like from them experimenting on comic book characters to make other creatures to
Yeah, dude.
the writers being meta and showing their inner monologue to comic crossovers from other indie companies, which I can only imagine the legal hell they've been in to do that. But from Dark Horse to fucking obviously
I'm sure it wasn't that big of a deal, especially since a lot of these guys have worked on these properties before.
yeah, I just with it being an indie publisher. But no, like they just I think my favorite character so far is Dr. Black.
Okay. That's fair.
I have a thing for Trashmen. I digress. No, but like it's really cool to see like all these works being referenced. It's cool to see characters cross over, which that name is a given, but
Yeah.
we got a visual of the creature killing comic creatives. It's like a Black Shadow type deal.
We didn't get a really good look. We didn't. Maybe it's that we didn't get a good look at him.
Maybe. I mean, also one thing I'm going to notice is when a character passes out in this series, they put it in the character's perspective and like
Yeah.
the panel is blurred. That's good
It's
shit.
fucking-
Good shit. Like
It's dope. It's well done.
again, there's too much praise for this comic. Also, yes, I'm nice and cozy now. There's too much praise for this comic that does everything right, from cliches to a couple of stereotypes and whatnot, and tackling political issues so perfectly in a fun way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. It's
But-
written so smart. It's paced so good.
And the fact that they're bringing in other writers mentioned in the series to write on the series.
Yeah. That's
I
a big one.
We're nerds for this, obviously. If we are gonna sit here and talk for like 15 minutes on a single issue, obviously they're doing something right. And if it's with like this much praise, obviously they're doing something
Oh,
right.
absolutely. It's like I said, this is quickly becoming one of my favorite comics of the year.
It's one that I actually am going to try to add on to my subscription just because I've been lazy and keep forgetting to add it every time I go to pick up my subscription.
Yeah, no. They just keep forgetting to add things to my subscription.
It happens at my shop. Like a couple of times they've forgotten to add things on and I'll have to like go pull it off the shelf and I'm like, God damn it.
The only ones
No shade.
The only ones that I care if they forget are things like vinyl that go and are gone immediately.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And Blue Flame wasn't even on the shelf this week.
They don't have the Blue Flame on the shelf at my shop. They have to like order that, and like if you don't, you have you can pick up your comics once a month. So like there's a very low risk of your shit getting pulled out of your box unless like it's high demand. Like one time they only were able to order 4 copies of the variant for Hellblazer Rise and Fall #3.
Okay.
And I have variants for issues, well, books 1 and 2. So, like, I'm only missing the variant for #3. But, like, it was high demand, pretty much. So they had to pull it out of my box. Other than that, like the only indie they really have on the walls at my shop are from Boom, Kaboom, Boombox, all three Boom Studios. Image, Dark Horse, IDW, Aftershock, and a couple other ones, but like they don't really have a lot of indie. Like they have like 2 walls dedicated to DC, 2 for Marvel, and then like they spread indie out through 2 walls. So
Okay.
that's how they do mine. And I mean, I go to other shops, like shout out to Shadow Mountain Comics in Tulsa, really great shop to go to. They mostly specialize in Silver and Bronze Age comics. Like they have Swamp Thing 37, but they have like modern age stuff. A lot of their stuff is graded, but they have like dollar bins and some recents.
Nice.
Really great shop, but like it's not mine. The one I go to.
Okay.
We got off topic. We really did. Look at
Yeah.
us.
Do you have anything else to say about crossover?
I want to know who the Dark Shadow is.
Samesies.
That's killing comic creatives. I think everyone does.
Reed Richards.
And I'm going.
I blame
I'm
Reed Richards.
going to assume. If it's Reed Richards, I wouldn't be mad because Reed Richards is a little piece of shit piss boy. Fuck that.
Yup.
The detectives that Chip was talking to in the end, because he was clearly distraught over his comic counterpart getting killed. Again, self-cessed.
It's not self-cessed. A piece of him died.
I'm gonna assume the detectives that are at the end are characters he's wrote. Probably are. I'm just uncultured and haven't gotten to that yet. And I really want to just see if, because like obviously they're bringing back the main cast for issue 8. I want to see how that goes, especially after what Elle told Ryan. That's all I have to say. What about you?
No, you covered everything. I want to see if the what's it called guys lived through that attack outside of the barrier. That's what I'd really like to see. Ideally, I hope they do. They were fun. They're a ton of.
I love the
They're a ton of
paybacks.
fun.
If you want like Indie Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy put together,
Those are
go read the
those are
paybacks.
boys and gals. But other
okay.
than that,
So you want to close us out with this one?
sure. So this is from Image Comics. It was written by Chip Zdarsky and the artist Phil Hester. Normally it's Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. Issue 8 comes out September 29th. Strongly suggest reading this if you haven't.
You've got a month because they're obviously on a hiatus. You got a month to get caught
Yeah.
up. And Volume 1 trade is out.
What do you mean they're on a hiatus?
That's what because there's not one for August.
Oh shoot, there's not.
Or July.
I forgot it's not August.
Yeah, they're on a hiatus. See, and I thought I had a bad concept of time.
Ah, dude. It's all the same to me.
Fair. What? Because issue 7 came out last month.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been on a 2-month hiatus. You got another month to get caught up. Issue 1, Volume 1 trade is out.
Yeah. That is definitely out.
You can find it probably at Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, or go to your local comic shop. Support small businesses.
Definitely go to your local comic shop. Don't fucking go to Barnes & Noble. Fuck them.
Go to Barnes & Noble as a last resort.
Yeah.
I go to Barnes & Noble sometimes to get like the DC Kids stuff if like my local comic shop doesn't have it.
That's fair, I guess.
That's where I got my Zatanna, Everyday Magic, and the Johnny Constantine one because they sold out at my comic shop.
That makes sense.
Honestly, I'm really happy though because like that shows people are really interested in DC Kids.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
right.
Let's see. We're doing pretty well time-wise tonight. I'm gonna let you go for your really. Wait, you have Collector's Corner this week, don't
Uh-huh.
you? Dude, I legit was gonna skip over Collector's Corner.
No, I got a good one this week because of all the Hawkeye news.
Shit.
So, for everybody out of the loop, Hawkeye comes out November 24th on Disney Plus.
Oh, my birthday month.
Kate Bishop's gonna be in it, and
Kate Bishop, my beloved.
and this is where my collector's corner comes in. And I was fortunate enough to buy this comic because I didn't realize it had any value. I have Young Avengers #1.
Fuck you.
I got it.
Fuck
I got
you.
it when it came out. Young Avengers #1. It's a
From 2005.
Yeah, it's the first team appearance of the Young Avengers. Kate Bishop, Patriot, Iron Lad, Asgardian, Hulkling. Later to be revealed, Iron Lad is a variant of Kang, that son of a bitch. But, so that is my collector's corner for the week, just because of all the Hawkeye news. I don't remember the story that well, but the
I remember the story. I was reading it.
the issue 1 is $280 on eBay at the high rate. It's variant. Which variant is this? Oh, this is a CGC 9.5 edition. Is rated. It's the sketch version of it is 2K. And the unrated Wizard World LA sketch is 500.
Just get it as a in a trade. Don't torture yourself like that. Just get like a trade volume of Young Avengers. Holy
Yeah.
shit! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
it's all good. I didn't realize it was that much. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been my collector's corner.
I mean, I've been in that situation. I mean, look at me last week. I suggest, like, I had a series where you can't even get a trade unless you get it on eBay.
Yeah.
Look at us being clowns. You, me, handshake clowns. Okay. Who is your favorite Avenger?
My favorite Avenger? That's a good fucking question. Are we talking like through all of comics history?
I'm gonna put it to the most notable ones that everyone's like familiar with, just for the sake of brevity.
Okay. Thor.
Who hurt you?
I love Thor.
Fair enough. For me, it's Hawkeye. Just
I
because.
love Hawkeye. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very Norwegian, and I always grew up with Norse mythology and those stories, and they were always fun. And yeah, Thor. Thor is the answer.
Can we just acknowledge though that the MCU has done Clint so fucking dirty?
They did. They did Clint not great.
So dirty. I hope the show does him some justice.
It looks like there's
Because at this point,
judging. Have you seen Black Widow yet?
my guy, I had one day off last week and I had to clean my apartment. I'll let that answer your
It
question.
sounds like you need to get your shit together. You need to see it
I needed the
because
money.
they're definitely setting stuff up for Clint.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely check it out. I need to. So here's the deal. For those who weren't here last week, I said I'd rewatch Suicide Squad from 2016 just to prove a point to him that Captain Boomerang isn't edgy. I didn't get to that because I had
Captain
one day
Boomerang
off.
also isn't edgy, and you're just making an excuse.
He is edgy from my memory.
not
I digress. I also made the promise I'd watch Black Widow, and I have done neither.
There's an ad for Black Widow on my television currently. Scrolling across my Roku.
What is it? The back of Way of X #4. There was an ad for Black Widow. We can't escape Black Widow. That was a good pick, though.
That was a fun one because I thought it would go good. I try to keep the collector's corners picks with what's going on in the comic TV world the best I can.
Why is yours yours is much more organized than mine. I'm just like, this is a good series, read it, and then I find out that you can only get stuff on eBay.
It's because it's stuff that I either own or and go along with the theme of the week. But that's it. That's my answer to that question.
Can we both admit that Billy is just
Who?
Billy? I like the fact that they like gave him the pseudonym Wiccan because
Oh, yeah,
Asgard
yeah.
is.
Have you started Strange Academy yet? Because you should.
One day off. One day off.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I didn't have time to read shit. That's why mine was It's always last minute.
Whatever.
Oh shit! I got hit with the whatever. Okay, bye guys.
All right. Do you want to do your picks of the week and not ruin mine?
Why don't you go first? Just because I'm gonna ruin yours regardless.
Just go first. Let's consider it an exercise in control.
See, I'm impulsive, and he is somehow like Adderall. We'll put it that way. What the fuck was that? Okay, so I have mine wrote down. Fun fact, this was the same notebook. I had wrote down the stuff for the first time we ever went live in April.
Nice.
That was the worst stream of my life.
All right.
Awful. Anyway, so for this week, it was Something is Killing the Children number 18. More of Erica's backstory. Fucking love it. Berserker number 4. Have not read it yet. Shit. And Robin number 4. Read it. I want to talk about it. He won't let me.
Yeah, I mean, this issue is better than 3, but
I like number 3 though.
number 3 was cool, I guess.
Okay. Who hurt you? Okay. The week of the 4th, The Nice House on the Lake, number 3. I haven't even read the first 2 issues, but if I write it down, I might remember. Basilisk, number 3. American Vampire, 1976, number 10. And Sam and His Talking Gun, number 4. And then, this is the reason why I asked you to go first, goddamn you. The week of the 11th. I only bring up the week of the 11th because that is the week of Free Comic Book Day, and majority of the releases on that week are for Free Comic Book Day because it's the 14th. The one that I'm most excited for is Enter the House of Slaughter number 1, and that is a preview for the actual spin-off series that's coming after Free Comic Book Day. I'm gonna make it brief. I did more research on it. Free Comic Book Day started in 2002, and it is a publisher's ways to bring business into local comic shops and, help them out, but along with getting new readers into comics. And this year we have stuff from all over the board, from DC, Marvel, Kaboom, Boom, Dark Horse, Image. Lots of great stuff. It's August 14th this year, and it's always a first come, first served basis. So if you want something, get to your comic shop as early as possible, or else it'll probably be gone by the time you get there.
Yep. That's the facts. All right. I'm going to do my picks for the week. For this week, we had Teen Titans Academy. I haven't read it yet. Captain America. The United States of Captain America number 2. And Black Knight number 5. If you have not read the Black Knight series and you like Once and Future, if you don't know anything about the Black Knight, start fucking reading about the Black Knight.
Oh, I forgot Once and Future existed
Yeah,
for
there you go.
hot
Black Knight is really, really good. I sped through that. He's going to be in the Eternals movie in November, which is exciting. I'm excited for the Eternals movie. All right, next week
I'm pretty excited.
we have Suicide Squad number 6. if you have not read this run of the Suicide Squad, it is so much fun and is so interesting. They have not their normal lineup, and they are refreshing.
You need to hold a gun to my head so I can read it, because I keep forgetting.
So good. Green Lantern number 5. This run has been fun. I'm not mad at it. I'm not like, yay. But it's definitely been fun. And next week is something I'm personally excited for. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Best of Casey Jones number 1. Like, next week I have a lot of things that that are on my pull list. I'm going to end up spending a stupid amount of money. But that's besides the point. But I have, like, my pull list next week is fucking ridiculous. Suicide Squad, Green Lantern. Suicide Squad, get the Joker number 1's on there. Basilisk. Crush and Lobo. Magic. The Gathering. Spirit Rider, Out of Body. Casey Jones. So many things next week. I'm sure there's more in there. Yo, where's that Biden's thing? Oh shit, Invader Zim. I didn't know that was coming up.
You shut up real quick. My manager found Biden's Titans and was like, if I get a yes from any of you, I'm buying it.
Yes.
I'm like, please don't.
Yes! Tell them yes!
They watch this podcast. So
Buy it! Buy Biden's Titans and tell
Have
me
some
how ridiculous it
common
is.
sense and just
buy it and tell
just
me how
read-
ridiculous it is. That's all I want.
What's stopping you from buying it, Clyde?
I forgot.
Fair enough.
I forgot. But buy it. And don't forget like I did. And let me know how it is.
Just read it online. Save your money.
But that's all I got for tonight.
Okay. So, that was a ride.
Yes.
I still say that Chip wrote Self-Cessed, and I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna die on that hill.
You shouldn't, because it's a ridiculous thing. It's a ridiculous hill to die on. Because it's
But it's a hill I'll
it's
die
not
on.
self-cessed.
It is
It's
self-cessed to
definitely
a
not.
certain
100%
degree.
is not self-cessed.
Do you know what self-cessed is?
I'm sorry. Do you?
Yes.
They literally talked about
get-
how that character is a piece of him. It is the piece of him that protects him from other fools like what you're doing, bashing our boy. And you're over here.
I'm
He's
not
over there.
bashing
His
him, I
comic
love
book character
Chip
self
Clark.
protects him. It's a persona that he puts on to protect himself, and you're telling him that it's self-cessed. Ridiculous. I'm gonna throw this water bottle.
I'm dying on that hill. Alright. I'ma just say this. When you're on Tumblr at a young age, you see things that will haunt you for the rest of your life. I'm looking at you, Gravity Falls fandom.
What the fuck? Gravity Falls?
Where do you
I
think
love Gravity Falls.
Where do
What
you
the
think I-
fuck, dude?
Where do you think I learned the term self-cessed from?
That show is wholesome. Stop it.
The internet is not.
Stop it. All right. Let's wrap this shit up before you start
Alright.
saying weird things again.
Oh no. Okay, where can they find you,
You can
Clyde?
find me on TikTok at Clyburn. You can find me at Instagram at aseer_prop_shop. And here and somewhere on YouTube, I guess, I do things. I'm going to put a video up soon. But that's just... I'm around. I'm easy to find.
You can find me on TikTok at DJ Spooky Ty, and you. I'm so sorry, Clyde. You can also find me here on YouTube, Storytime with Ty. As always, our channels are featured on this profile, and his Etsy shop
That too.
and his TikTok are linked, and my TikTok is linked in our About section.
All right. We did it.
We did
Alright.
it. Yeah, that's all we have for this week. Thank you guys for tolerating us for another hour.
Have a good night.
Have a great